Hi guys! Thanks for tuning into another little episode, I guess, of whatever this is. I wanted to make this video to go into a few more details or more in depth of this big hiking project I have that I announced a little over a week ago. First of all, I realized I kind of was very broad in general with what I'll be doing. So I wanted to show you the actual route I'll be hiking, give you a better picture of what this all is, what 20,000 miles looks like on a map. So here you go. This congruous line made up of a bunch of different colors represents all the different trails and the segments in between those trails I'll be walking on foot out of my backpack over 3 years. The trails that you see represented here are as follows: the Florida Trail, Pinhoti Trail, Appalachian Trail, Long Trail, North Country Trail, Continental Divide Trail, Arizona Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, Pacific Northwest Trail, and the Great Divide Trail. It's a lot. Even I, like I said, have a hard time really wrapping my head around all that. So instead of going into detail of what all that's gonna be in this video, because we don't have time for that, I'm gonna make a video series on each of the trails. This is going to be hopefully a fun experience for you to learn something new about a trail you may or may not have known of. And it's also gonna be helpful for me to really get an idea of the different environments I'll be hiking through, the time of year I'll be going through them, and at what time, or I should say, at what part of the trip I'll be experiencing those trails. I also wanted to discuss today kind of what I'm calling my code of conduct or my ethics, which I actually made a little document of. It feels silly, but I think it's kind of important to put into words how you want to approach your experience, how you want to carry yourself. And this ties into that adage or the saying of hike your own hike, which is so important. I've always kind of thought it funny that there's this purest way or a right way to hike, but everybody's right way is a little bit different. And so a big part of this project I mentioned is taking the elitism and the exclusiveness out of this hiking. And I kind of just want to share with you what's important to me on my hike. And this won't go for everyone. In fact, it might only go for a few people. But when you make these kind of not rules for yourself, but methods for yourself that you want to follow, they can be really rewarding. So first off, I want this to be a connected footpath, if at all possible. On the Continental Divide Trail 2 years ago, I was able to link all my steps from point A to point B. Not all on the official trail due to alternates and closures and just areas I wanted to see. And by doing that, I realized you can really hike anywhere you want. It doesn't have to be on an official trail, whether it be roads, or blazing your own path. And that in itself was inspiring, that I had to figure things out and rely on myself. And it's one of the reasons, or part of the reason this idea was born, of linking all these different trails or the spaces in between. You don't just have to do the trails. The self-supported means I'm gonna be carrying all of my own supplies that I need to survive. One of my friends offered or brought up the idea of biking alongside me and bringing water through desert environments or through the Florida Keys section. And I thought about it, and I want to be able to have relied on myself again, similar to that continuous footpath, and be able to bring everything that I need on my back and to have the forethought and the planning and the strength to do so. I also wanted to do it over a continuous time, meaning I don't want to take big chunks of time off. I find there's something beautiful about evolving with the seasons, going through the difficulties of winter. And the way I have things lined up, where I'll be will actually kind of work out with the seasons, disregarding hiking the North Country Trail through winter, which I'll dive into my worries and anxieties about that when I get to that trail video. I also want it to feel like one journey. If I break it up, I feel that it might feel like completely different adventures, especially due to the variety of terrain and environments I'll be hiking through. So those are kind of my morals or ethics, not morals, ethics of how I'm gonna hike. And the last thing I wanted to talk about in this video today is how I'm gonna include this LGBTQ plus inclusivity factor. I'm going to be doing or practicing meetups along the way. When I have a planned zero or multiple zeros in a town, I'm going to say so in advance so people from the local area can come hang out and we can go on a day hike together, talk about hiking or other outdoor adventures or sports, and just be with one another. That networking, I think, can be really powerful in inspiring us to really pursue our dreams. I'm also going to be hosting different challenges along the way of asking or challenging people, followers, listeners, viewers, to go out on their own adventures, big or small, in their backyards or far away, and share their stories. Send me their stories of what happened and how far they went, or what they did. It might be meditating, might be yoga, might be hiking, climbing, skiing, what have you. Let's get outside. And from time to time, I want to feature some of these stories and then also keep a tally of the total mileage we've all hiked together to see how far we can all hike, or how far we can all climb. So these ideas are evolving, but those are just some of the ways that I want to get people involved. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out for that hiking or trail mini series of each of the trails I'll be doing, and you'll hear from me soon. Thanks for listening. Oh, what do I say, Brecken? What is it? Like, subscribe, and share. I'm not stupid. I am stupid. Okay. And speaking of continuous